Good afternoon, friends. Today I'm joined by Marketa. She comes from the United Kingdom. A lot of things are happening in the United Kingdom now. We have the Prime Ministers, the elections are going on. And today she's here at the Meridian Hotel. So this was about I4IC. This is about the talent pool what India has. And we have people from across the world. We had the senator from Australia. So we have some nice panel discussions. You were there in the earlier. So you can tell about your company and your digital commonwealth and whatever.
hmm So thank you. Should I look at you or should I look there? Okay, I will be looking at you. Okay.
Sure, sure.
So Digital Commonwealth is a part of the ATMC education group that has been around for past 20 years. As a large experience in international education. We work with Indian students very closely, and we developed under Digital Commonwealth initiative called Employability.LIFE. That's the initiative that organized this I4IC conference. So what we are trying to do in India is to sort of identify what could be the reasons for this education to employment gap. Why do graduates finish school and then employers complain, oh, why they're not ready? What could be done better? So we are here at this conference trying to answer that question, and us working with students internationally, we are developed a training where we focus on 5 strategic capabilities, on their career intelligence, on their cultural intelligence to understand how to work in international environments, on their digital skills, how to use digital tools to their advantage, how to influence people, how to develop good negotiation skills perhaps, and also how to develop a growth mindset. A lot of us think that maybe, oh, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, so we teach the learners, that they can always think, maybe I'm not good at it yet, but with the hard work and training, I can get there wherever I want to get.
Yeah, initially, like India, we got independence in 1947. So we were ruled by the British monarchy, I would say the Queen. And I remember, like, from my ancestor's side, my mother's uh, grandfather went to UK and he studied law. So initially, means down 100 years back, if we look at, so people were going there, either the people who were joining the Royal Air Force, this was part of India, like was there part of the Royal Air Force, and so it was people engineers who were going there, and see people in lawyers and all this. Now the things have changed. So now because of the IT, so IT is the bigger thrust where people are going down to US, and then we have our Indian companies, the IT big heads, or the Tech Mahindras and the Infosys and everybody. It's TCS if I'm talking about the IT sector. So what do you want to say about the IT skill set when people are going from India? So how are they how they welcome them?
Hmm. I think first and foremost, I would like to really position ourselves as an international educational provider. So by far, we are not just in the UK. We have campuses in Australia, in the UK, in New Zealand, in Canada as well. So we are pretty international. So that's why the word Commonwealth. However, when it comes to UK in particular, that's where our office is currently. And when it comes to working with students in India and the Indian industry and those that actually succeeded pretty much worldwide in IT, I really believe that it was due to them basically willing to adapt those skills that we have just spoken about, that they were open to network, to meet people that are not just within their close communities or maybe their closest families, but they went out there. They faced a different world, different people, different cultures. Also, it was because of those skills of, so as I just mentioned, networking, but also they had that growth mindset. They believe that they can get somewhere further away in their lives. But what I just would wish for India, I wish for India to all those great minds to come back to India and to make this country better and more successful, because all the talent deserves to be here and the country deserves to retain them and make the best of them, because at the end they were born here. So it would be great if they could come back and help others, motivate others, mentor other young people to also succeed, whether domestically or internationally, and show the world how competitive country you can be, and that you are easily. You are the one of the strongest economies in the world, so you should keep leading that way.
I fully agree with you. And recently, we were watching. There's this biopic. It's a movie, where this is Indian women cricket captain. So how she struggled in India, and they went on to play. So her first match was at Lords. And when we were watching that movie, so the thoughts were coming to me, like you said, that people who go out of India, so they should come back and give it to their country. And during the pandemic also, there were a lot of people who wanted to leave the foreign, the west side, and they did return to India, but now they're going back. So means we are not able to stop that. Means although there are people in who've like we have our IT minister, Ashwini Vaishnavi. So he was an officer, civil services officer, and then he has trained abroad and he studied in the foreign universities. He heads IT, he heads railways, he heads communications. So these people have come back. And even many years back, we had when our India the computer thing got started. That is, I'm talking about 90s, 91. So we had Sam Pitroda, who was heading the telecommunication revolution in India. So because he came back, so therefore today we see that we have computers. Otherwise, we don't have computers. So what you said is a big point, and I think we should address this at all levels. And lastly, about employability, you have this employability.life. So what does this do, and how does it help these students?
So is it comes to how to make students more employable? Again, opening their mind, opening the world to them, showing them what are the skills that are of the sort of quality where they can succeed anywhere in the world, but be relevant at home. So because as we just discussed, we don't want everybody to leave the country. We want them to feel proud they're here. And then because the competition here is immense, there are so many students for one job, there are so many students that apply. So what makes a difference in a candidate? How is that candidate different? The way they present themselves, the way they are critical of themselves, the way they show that they show critical thinking. That they don't just believe everything they read, but they show that interest, that research approach. They show communication skills. So there are so many skills that they can show that can impress that respective hiring officer, and we are here to help them with it. To sort of stand out of the crowd.
So in your verticals, different verticals, so who's your team head?
Our team head, I would say our team head is still the education group, ATMC education group that operates worldwide. So we provide degrees. We recently became actually a degree provider as well ourselves in Australia. So where we are heading now, while we develop the soft skills training, we are developing also micro-credentials to be able to provide learners with technical skills.
Okay. Thanks so much, and I wish you a pleasant stay in India when you're here.
It's been wonderful so
Yeah,
far.
thank you so much.
Thank you.